What's poppin', ladies and gentle thems? I'm Xavier of the Black Creatures, and this is Thirsty Thursday, a show where Jade and I talk about art, music, movies, and anything else that's got us thirsty this week. I feel like something that happens a lot to a lot of people, if not everyone who has an account at least, is they find random recommendations inside of their YouTube suggestions, things that they would have never ever sought out on their own. And it's always just like interesting to one, watch those videos, and two, look at the comments of those videos. Because more often than not, those videos themselves are completely random and have nothing to do with the person's interests, the person who's watching them interests. But if you look at the comments, everyone else is like, why was this in my recommendations? Why did YouTube suggest this to me? What's wrong with the algorithm? That, and there's so much solidarity in this experience that everyone's sharing of being forced to find something that they didn't ask for. YouTube seems to just assume that this collection of people will be welcome to this intrusion, basically. Sometimes there are gems. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes you find stuff in those recommendations that are tailored perfectly to your taste. Just
Do they see your
delicioso.
song?
Recently, due to COVID, due to Times New Rona, I have been just living on the internet, living on YouTube. That is my home. That is where I sleep. Well, rather, this is where I don't sleep because I'm up watching the videos. In my recommendations, especially recently, I've discovered this thing called Bardcore or Tavern Wave, but I like Bardcore better because I'm old and adding core to the end of musical genres is what my age group does. Bardcore is a genre of music that is a parody of contemporary pop because it covers contemporary pop using medieval instrumentations and sometimes medieval vocalizations. Hildegard von Blingen, that is the creator, the content creator that I was recommended on YouTube, and they do these bardcore covers of pop songs that were popular throughout my life. And Bad Romance was one of them, and it was just like so shocking and also surprisingly wanted. Like it was welcome. I listened to it, and those first like tambourine hits happened, and I was like,
Ooh, ooh, the tavern is turning up this evening. The king don't know what to do. Forget taxes, the serfs are up till dawn.
it's just weird. It's one of those things that like hits right when it hits. And it reignited my youthful passion and interest in European like folklore and adventure and stuff like I'm a knight and slaying dragons and stuff like that. But it also reignited my interest for the Renaissance Fair. And that was super dope until the Renaissance Fair announced that they were canceling this year because of Times New Rona. So I just have that inkling, that need, that desire to go to a place where I can dress up as a old school peasant instead of a modern day peasant like I am. The more that I think about how I'm basically the equivalent to a medieval serf or peasant or like any of the working class or poverty class groups, like that's just me.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So far, I found three kinds of bardcore songs. There's the kind of songs that are written that have a flute replacing the vocalizations. There's the types of songs that are written that have the original vocals, lyrics intact as the original artist wrote them. However, they're sung by someone else using like an accent or something. And then there are the songs that have the lyrics rewritten as if they were written originally in a medieval era. And those ones are actually my favorite. Let me show you some of these lyrics because here we go. This one, Jolene, 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 Jolene. I beg of thee, pray take not my lord. I bet you can't guess what that song is, or even these lyrics here. All ye bully rooks with your buckskin boots, best ye go, outrun my bow. Summer of 1200, riding in the cart with my kinsman, and the minstrel starts blasting these bops. Like, imagine there is a ball happening at the castle, and obviously we weren't invited because we're paltry peasants, or whatever the terms would be used back then. I don't know. And we are, chilling literally because we're cold inside of our hut or whatever structure broke people back then lived in. But we can hear the bards and the minstrels playing a loud cover of What Is Love. We could faintly hear it off in the distance and people cheering to it and having a good time while we suffer in squalor. Maybe medieval era sucked. Yes. Maybe the Renaissance Fair picks the best parts of that to relive, and maybe even Bardcore does that. Anyway, Bardcore. It's definitely something that's got me thirsty this week. I hope it's got you thirsty too. You can use the links down below to find a bunch of Bardcore songs, as well as links to find and follow us all over Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Bandcamp. We've just got a new single on Spotify, and we got our own website. What's going on? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to quench that thirst every Thursday. I'm Xavier of the Black Creatures. Fare thee well. What am I trying to say? Thing that comes out of something. Chest burster. Kamehameha. I don't know what I'm doing.